Right. Greetings everyone. It's Mr. Hlajang here. Welcome to Back to Basics. What I want us to do basically is to understand and find out what and learn how to find the first derivative of f of x from our first principle, right? So now I know that basically there's still going to be what your fundamental understanding of how our first derivative, or rather our first principle rule was discovered and everything like that, right? But I don't want us to, waste our energy on that, as that is not muchly, examined, but rather the application of that particular formula, right? So we are saying from first principle, we have this formula which is going to what, uh, the first derivative of what? The first derivative of x is equals to the limit of h approaching 0, which is going to be same as what? F into what? X plus h, subtract what? Subtract your f of x over what? Over your h. So basically that is going to be what? The first principle law, right? So what is it that you are going to do now? Whenever you are writing this, it is fundamentally important that you include the limit as what? As h approaches 0. You must always include this up until what? Up until you basically what? Up until you find out the values of h, or rather up until you substitute your h, right? Now, what is it that you're going to do now firstly? So can you see that here in the same equation? So basically, this is like f of x subtracting f of x, but the only difference is that now in the first equation where there is x, you're going to what? You're going to write x plus h, then subtract the original f of x, right? So which means what is it that you're going to do? You're going to take the same equation 2. Then where there is x in the first equation, you write what? X plus your h minus what? Minus 1. And then when you are done with this first equation, then you subtract what? Then you subtract again your f of x, which is same as what? 2x subtract 1. How to get? So basically that is going to be that. Then now you are obviously going to divide by what? You are going to divide by your h, right? So you are going to continue saying your limit as your what? As your h approaches 0. What is it that you are going to have? Now from here, this is same as 2x multiplied by x, which is going to be same as what? 2x, then 2 multiplied by h, this is going to be plus what? Plus 2h, subtract 1. Then now when you multiply by the negative, this is going to be same as negative 2x, then this is going to be plus 1 over what? Over our h. How to get? Then now, what else then are you going to do now from here? So you are going to say, look, my limit as my h approaches 0 is going to be equal to what? Can you see that from here? The 2x and the 2x are going to cancel each other. The negative 1 and the positive 1 are going to cancel each other, right? So which means you're going to be left with 2h over h, right? Then now, what is it that you're going to do? Also, the h and the h are going to cancel each other, which means the answer that you are having here as a what? As your first principle, or as your first derivative, is going to be same as what? It is going to be same as your 2. Okay. Now, hopefully this makes sense. Let's look at the second one and see in terms of what is it that you can do now in this one, right? Let's see. So now on this one, firstly, it is important to note that you must start by writing, obviously, the formula for your first principle, right? Which is going to be the first derivative of f of x is equal to your limit as h approaches 0, which is going to be f of x plus h subtract f of x, right? So what is it that is going to happen now? Which means this is going to be same as your limit as your h approaches 0. Now, in the first one, you are going to write what? This is going to be same as x plus what? X plus h squared, right? Which means I took the first thing and then substituted x plus h where there was x, right? Then this is going to subtract the original graph, which is same as what? Which is same as x squared. How to get? This is going to be over what? This is going to be over your h, right? And now what is it that you're going to do after that? Then you are going to say, from that, you are going to multiply. This is same as what? This is same as x plus h and x plus h, which is going to be equals what? X plus h subtract what? Subtract x squared over what? Over h, right? So what is going to be this? This is Remember, you must write your limb as your age approaches 0. Again, you are going to write your limb as your age approaches 0, right? What is it that you're going to have? Now, this is same as what? This is same as your x squared plus 2xh, I think. This is going to be plus h squared, right? This is going to be then subtract 1, subtract x squared over your age, right? Now, what is it that you're going to realize here? These and these are going to cancel each other, right? So which means you are basically left with what? You are left with 2x uh h, right, plus h squared over h, right? Remember, you still write your limit as your h approaches 0. Now, what is it that you're going to have here? Now you're going to take out h as a common factor, right? So which means this is going to be same as what? Your limit as your h approaches 0 is going to what? H into what? Into 2x plus what? Plus h over your 2. And what is going to be this? The h and the h rather, this is supposed to be h, are going to cancel each other, which means the answer that you are going to have here is going to be same as what? 2x. Now, plus when there is h now, you are going to substitute the what? You are going to substitute the 0 because the h in your denominator now, we've already got rid of it, right? Or we've already cancelled it. So which means the answer that you're going to have here is going to be same as your 2x altogether. So basically, which means the first derivative using the first principle is going to be what? Is going to be 2x. Now, what is it that you're going to do now from here? You are going to say in this particular question, you're going to start obviously by writing the formula of limit as h approaches 0, which is going to be your f into x plus h subtract f of x over what? Over h. Now, the second thing that you're going to do now, you're going to come to this formula and substitute, right? So obviously, whenever you write this, you must start with what? Your limit as your h approaches 0. And then now what else then are you going to have? This is going to be same as your 3 subtract, this is going to be same as what? This is going to be same as now. Where there is x, firstly, you're going to write x plus h, right? Then again, subtract the same formula now, right? Which is 3 subtract what? Subtract x squared, right? And remember, even this one must be squared, right? So what is it you are going to do over your what? Over your h. So from here, again, you start by writing what your limit as your h approaches 0. This is going to be same as what? When you multiply this is same as 3 into what? 3 subtracts, this is going to be same as what? X plus h, x plus h, subtract what? Subtract 3, subtract x squared, right? Over what? Over your h altogether. Now, what is this going to be? Now, this is going to be your limit as your age approaches 0. This is same as what? This is same as your 3 subtract. Now, x multiplied by x is going to be same as what? X squared plus what? This is same as x multiplied by x, which is going to what? Or rather x multiplied by h, which is xh, and this also x, or rather h multiplied by x, which is xh. So which means this is actually going to be 2xh altogether. Then this is going to plus h squared. Then this is going to subtract what? This is subtract 3 plus your x squared. Remember now I multiplied by the negative from outside, right? Then over h. So what is going to be this one? Remember here the outside there is what? There is a negative. So which means basically this is same as what? This is same as your 3. Obviously, you start by writing your limit. Your limit as your h approaches 0. This is going to be 3. Subtract what? Subtract x squared. Subtract what? Subtract 2xh. This is going to subtract h squared. Subtract 3 plus x squared over what? Over your h. Okay. Then now, what is that is going to happen here? Look, the 3 and the 3 are going to cancel each other, right? The negative, the what? The negative x squared and also the x squared are going to cancel each other, right? What is it that you are left with? You are actually left with your limit as your h approaches 0, which is going to be same as what? Negative 2x minus h squared over what? Over your h. Now you are going to take out the h. This is negative 2xh, right? So which means what is it that you're going to do? You can take out you can take out your h as a common factor, which means this is going to be same as what? This is going to be same as h open bracket negative 2x minus h over what? Over h. And what is this going to be? Now, your h and your h are going to cancel each other, right? So which means now you're going to be left with what? You're going to be left with negative 2x subtract. Now, where there was h, you substitute your 0, right? Now, because you are getting rid of your what? Your limit, which means your answer that you're going to have here, it's going to be same as what? It's going to be same as your what? Your negative 2x altogether. So basically, this is how you are expected to solve this particular question, right? Now, let's look at the last question. What is it that you're going to do here? Now, to try and solve this last question using first principle, you are going to say, look, firstly, our first derivative of x is equals to your limit as your h approaches 0. And then what is this going to be? This is going to be same as your f of x plus h subtract what? Subtract your f of x over what? Over your h. And now what is it that you're going to do? Obviously, you're going to write your limit as your h approaches 0. This is going to be same as what? Where there is x. Firstly, now, what is it that I want you to recognize is that here you are having 2x, right? So which means the x plus h in the first equation, you're going to substitute in both of the x, which means this is actually going to be same as 2 into bracket x plus h squared subtract 3 into bracket x plus h subtract 5 over what? Subtract, then you subtract the entire equation, which is going to be same as what? Which is going to be same as 2x squared subtract 3x subtract 5. And this is going to be over what? This is going to be over your what? Over your h. Right? Now, what is it that you're going to have now from here? Which means this is going to be same as what? This is going to be same as your limit as your h approaches 0. Now, what is it that you're going to have? This is going to be 2 into what? Now, when you multiply this, right? This is actually same as going to what? This is going to be x squared plus 2xh plus h squared, right? Close bracket. This is going to be subtract 3x, right? This is going to subtract 3x, subtract 3h. This is going to be, after that, what is it that you're going to have? You're going to have subtract 5, subtract what? Subtract 2x squared plus 3x. This is going to be same as what? Plus 3x plus 5, right? Over your what? Over your h. Altogether, this is going to be over your h. Then now, what is it that you're going to do here? You are going to obviously say your limit as your h approaches 0. What is it that you're going to do? This is same as what? This is same as your 2x squared, right? Plus what? This is going to be plus 4xh plus what? Plus 2h squared, right? Subtract what? Subtract 3x, subtract 3h, subtract 5, subtract 2x squared plus 3x plus 5. And then this is going to be same as what? Uh, this is also going to be same as what? Over what? Over your h, right? Now, what is that you're going to do now from here? Let's collect like terms. Can you see that these one and these ones are going to cancel each other, right? What else is going to cancel each other? The negative 3x and the positive 3x are going to cancel each other. The 5 and the 5 are going to cancel each other. What else then now are you going to be left with? You're only going to be left with this, right? Now let's see what is it that you're left with here. You're only left with your 4. This is your limit. As your h approaches 0, you're only left with what? Your 4xh plus 2h squared subtracts 3h, right? Over what? Over your h. Now, what is it that you're going to do now from here? Let's see. Let's just make up our space here, right? Let's just try and make up our space here. Now, what is it that you're going to have now from here? This is going to be same as what? Your limit as your what? Your limit as your h approaches 0. This is going to be same as what? This is going to be same as what? Now you take out h as a common factor here. So which means your h is going to be same as 4x what? Plus 2h minus 3. right? Over what? Over your age. Now the age are going to cancel each other, right? So which means now what is it that you are only left with here? You are only left with this one, right? So which means after that, what is it that you are going to do? This is going to be same as your what? This is going to be same as your limit. As age approaches 0, you are only left with what? 4x plus what? Plus 2h. And then now, what is it that you're going to do now? You're going to substitute the limit of what? Your h here, right? So which means now this is going to be same as 4x plus 2 into what? Into 0 where there was h. So which means now the answer that you are going to have here, right? This is plus h subtracts 3 rather, right? So which means the answer that you're going to have here, this is going to be 4x. Remember here, there was also subtracts 3, right? So which means what is it that you're going to have? It's same as 4x subtracts 3, which is going to be your answer that you're going to have, right? Hopefully this makes sense to you now. And thank you very much.